This is Mark Shotrock. I'm going to do an updated video on how to change your outbound caller ID on your telephone. So your desk phone is set by default, most likely to show the main number of the location that you're at, that your phone is behind. But you can, if you want, change your outbound caller ID to show your DID number. There's some funny things about caller ID. Most systems only have one published number, and that's the main number for the company. So your main business telephone number that appears maybe in Google or the old-fashioned yellow pages, it would have your main published number, and you have to actually pay about $5 a month to have that number published. So it shows your caller ID name and number. But then you can have a bunch of unpublished numbers. They're about $2 a piece, about $1.99 on in most cases. But those numbers don't push out caller ID name. They only push out the number. So it may say unavailable. It may say spam call. It just depends on how their phone system or their cell phone is configured. So it's caller ID isn't as simple as what everybody thinks. Uh, it's very complicated. I should do a whole video on that. Anyways, if you wanted to change your outbound caller ID that you're pushing out, you could do that. I've had cases where the business is kind of doing something very sensitive. They don't want the main published number to show up every time, so they have a phone or two that may just push out the number alone. They want that. They don't want the name on there. So as an admin, you would just log into portal.star2star.com. You're going to come to your home screen here, find the phone system that you're working on. And let me just show you how this kind of works first. Under location, additional information, by default, this is, in our case, this is our primary DID number. This is our published phone number. And this is set default. And this works in different ways. So here's a bunch of numbers, but this is our published number right here. And if you go to device configuration, extensions, go find my extension, you'll see that this is my outgoing caller ID is looking for that location. It's looking for this number that is here in this field, whatever is here. And that's the best way to do it by default. So if you go back to the extensions, and you go find my extension here, that's the simplest way. This is the way I do majority of all phone systems. I just go find that number and I just put, hey, whatever the location is here. I could go down here and find that number down here somewhere, but it's just a lot of work to do that. This is just easier to see. Anyways, so I want to change my caller ID, outbound caller ID. This is where I do it. I would come here, I'd find my direct number, which is 3938, and I would save that. And now, after 4 or 5 minutes, when I make an outbound call from my extension 3938, it will push out that number. But again, you have to find the number you want, click Save Changes, then click the big save. Go back to my extension here. There's my number, but I really want just the location number there. So I'll hit Save Changes here. Now I can push out my big save, and then my phone number is back to normal. Now, there is a case if you want to. I've only done it once or twice. Our phones are set up to be. They are set up to be a Yealink T54 3-line reception mode. It means I have my extension number 3 times on my phone. Your phone system is probably the same way. You could do it a different mode where it's just 3-line mode. And when you do that, you can actually, you'll have a button A, button B, button C, and you can actually, there's more on the screen here, and you can actually pick much caller ID you want per button. Haven't done it very often. There's really not reason to do it, but occasionally somebody might want that, and it can be done. It does change a little bit how your phone works, so be sure to contact us if you decide that you want that and you want to go a little bit deeper into on the pros and cons. I've really never found a pro to go with a 3-line normal mode versus a 3-line reception mode. Every system I ever put in is reception mode, except maybe one or two that someone wanted it for some reason. So anyways, so again, just a quick review. Find your extension, find the number you want, hit save, save big changes, and you're done. If any questions or comments, need to contact us, just email us at the help desk. That's helpdesk@shotrok.com. That's shotrok.com. Thanks.